So, relegation 6-pointer. We need to be on our best behaviour.
I told him I can be a fighter if you want. I'll be there to catch you if you fall. I can make it brighter when it's dark, when it's dark. I told him I would do it all for you, and I know you do it for me too. I can be a fighter if you want.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Survival Specialist. If you're enjoying the save, obviously drop a like, helps out the channel, algorithms, all that jazz. We've had a youth intake. It's the perfect time for it. I don't even have to show you a picture of it. We can actually show you it properly. Straight at the first of the month, I figured we'd get one in at some point in today's episode, but I didn't think it'd be right away. This is what we got. This is our golden generation. I mean, it's a nice little spatter of different nationalities. And there's a Hungarian lad, a guy who's German Croat. There's a Volkan Kalkan is a great name for this Turkish striker here. Another Turkish lad here, Ibrahim Demachan, an Austrian, and of course a guy from Cote d'Ivoire. Also a Gambian left and right side of midfield. That's pretty rare actually to be both. Wow, he's natural on. Oh wow, okay, that's kind of cool. Natural on both feet. Fair play, Mamadou. The best option or best prospect from the bunch though is Nicholas Mai, a 15-year-old German centre back. 6'3", decent jumping reach, aggression and bravery are decent as well. Good teamwork to go with it too. He's got a lot of the nice little components, which is nice to see. Marking and tackling is his tackling, unfortunately, because it's really hard to get that up a lot of the time unless they start with it really well. Positioning not superb either. He's still an interesting option though, so you know, a nice player nevertheless. But now we must turn our attention to today. It is an enormous 6-pointer. I genuinely feel like if we beat Hoffenheim today, that it doesn't relegate them by any means, but I think it gives them almost a very, very, very low opportunity to actually finish above us, which is kind of the most important thing. We have a 5-point gap. A win would send that to 8 points with just 6 games remaining. And I think it would put us in a really strong position to avoid automatic relegation. But there's still so many other things that can happen. As you'll notice, Karlsruhe play Greuther Fürth. Karlsruhe's fixtures, my goodness, they're getting some good games in a row. If both us and Karlsruhe won today, that battle for that final relegation player spot is certainly not getting any easier for the likes of Werder Bremen and Wolfsburg, who are both away from home today themselves, particularly Wolfsburg, who are away at Dortmund. Both of us could actually leapfrog them today, so this is going to get insane. So, relegation 6-pointer. We need to be on our best behaviour. We should, hopefully, have the full-strength squad back and available for today's game, right? Yes, I think we do. So that's good. That will not be happening once again. So that's what I want to see. Bernie, totally happy to play him at left-back. I've been happy with him so far. With that last game, it's one of those situations where it's kind of you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Had we left ourselves open on full aggressive attack mode like we normally are, and then we conceded those 2 goals, it's one of those, well, you should have shut up shop, and then vice versa. There's really no winning in that situation, other than, of course, not conceding the goals. There's many factors. I do wonder if Cooney maybe would have been able to save one of them, perhaps, and just give us a little bit more of a chance. But generally speaking, we've been able to pull that off against much better sides than Freiburg, so we'll take the away point. We're still picking up points in the league, 5 unbeaten. We go again. That's what I'm saying here. We got to think positive now. So that's going to be our lineup for today. Oh, come on. I think I'm more nervous about this game than I was about any of the others. Arwin Hunt. That's a cool name. They also have a right back just called Fidel. Cuban by any chance? This does feel like one of these games that, arguably, we've played better probably against. But I just have a... Do you know what I mean? When you come into these matches and you feel like, yeah, we're the better side, we're in good form right now. It's all looking... Wow, we're first? Top of the form stat... Well, players didn't like that, did they? Jesus. But come on. There we go. Pick it up a little bit, lads. Jeez. You think they'd react better to that, really? It just feels like all the stars are about to align for us to concede like 4 penalties. But let's have positive thoughts today and hope that just a good performance with the full strength side can do the job. Hoffenheim are the lowest goal scoring team in the league, which is incredible because we were once that team as things go. Our form, I mean, look at that. 11 points from our last 5 games. Hoffenheim's last 5 games form. I mean, they've actually only lost 1. And Victor Fischer is now the manager. Now, that might be caretaker. I don't know if they've actually appointed a new full-time manager, but this is enormous. A win here, and we are in a really good spot. A defeat, and things start to get a little bit spicy going into the final fixtures of the season, is all I can say. A draw isn't the worst result, but it could see us fall behind Karlsruhe, honestly. I think the key for us is to not lose, really. Avoiding defeat here is massive. Januszka's ball in, and it's clicked away there. Because if we lose, the gap drops right back. At least with a draw, the gap remains the exact same, and Hoffenheim don't gain any ground on us. Mistal drills one low and hard early. Okay, good. Finding his sights nice and early, lads. Also depends on what Karlsruhe do. They win again, and it starts to get very difficult as well. Januszka's ball all the way through, and it's to the back post. Ernst Gerke, 1-0 Heidenheim after just 10 minutes, and he's celebrating in front of the Hoffenheim fans as well, just to add insult to injury here. That's the second time this season that a corner has just gone all the way through everybody and found Gerke at the back post. I don't think we scored a single one like that for Sassuolo, but we've got 2 for him now. Go on. Bigger news. Karlsruhe have taken the lead, and actually at the moment, there would be 4 teams separated by a point. Schurter. Bernie again, but to get off to the best start possible. We've taken the lead a lot this season, which is really pleasing. Michtal again! Oh my god, it's 2-0 Heidenheim. Kasper Michtal does it a second time. Right, this time, we're not going to let off. We're going to keep going. Great performance. Oh, what a brilliant start to this match. 33 minutes on the clock. Was it Bernie with the ball in, or was it someone else? Or was it Orlando again? He found Michtal like this in the last game. Great ball. And Michtal should not be winning that header, but he does. And it's yet another goal for Kasper Michtal. He is the friendliest of ghosts. Werder Bremen have taken the lead away at Eintracht Frankfurt as well. Lots of wins going for the teams down towards the bottom at the moment. Except for the teams at the very bottom. Schurter, Bernie, picks it out. What a strike. Fernandando Bernie, the left wing back, has just done a Jan Brunner special. It's Heidenheim 3, Hoffenheim 0. In the Battle of the Heims, we are going to come out on top. Will there be 57 varieties of goal today? Unlikely. Great touch from Bernie, but look at that. I mean, that is an absolute rocket for Fernandando Bernie. Come on. 3-0 at halftime and 3-1 are very, very different stories. We know that. Oh, God. Ortega. It's a tough angle and a good save from Cunha. Whoa. Heidenheim 3, Hoffenheim 0. Gerke, Michtal and Bernie with the goals. I don't think we could have asked for a better start, better first half here. We just have to see this game through now. I think bringing Bernie in has made a huge difference. And both us and Karlsruhe would leapfrog Werder Bremen. Wolfsburg are just keeping their heads above water with a draw away at Dortmund currently. But second half needs to be just as good as the first. Schurter, so good to have the guys back in the team. The first choice guys. I feel like having Schurter and Cunha back in does make a massive difference to this squad. Schurter's just that little bit better at controlling that area. Although, oh God. And in Orlando, doing things like that don't really help, does it? Right, go on. Oh no, Batman's poor header. And now there's a chance for Ortega. This is big now. And he's missed the target. It's things like that. Greuther Fürth have equalised against Karlsruhe. Big, big news. And in addition to that, Wolfsburg, I think, are now actually the team dropping into the playoff spot right now, as Werder Bremen have turned things around. Or they were always the team. I don't actually know. It's hard to keep track at the moment when somebody changes. Bernie, surely he can't do it again. Orlando. That's it, lads. Keep that ball moving. Schurter, Wipperfürth. Oh, is there a pass on? There is. It's Dreyer! And it's in. It's 4-0. Heidenheim 4, Hoffenheim 0. And both fullbacks have scored. Sebastian Dreyer puts the icing on the cake, surely, in what is going to be an absolutely massive victory. There you can see. Well, you can't actually because my face can. But Werder Bremen, 2 goals up now at Eintracht Frankfurt. Lovely pick out here, I think, from Wipperfürth. And Dreyer's just smashed this. Goalkeeper has hit him and gone in. It's 4-0 to Heidenheim. Oh, my God, we needed that. And I think we deserve the win. 4-0's a bit harsh on Hoffenheim. I feel like they've had some chances today and we've been clinical when we've needed it most. But for us to score 4 goals against anybody, I don't know if it's head-to-head or goal difference in Germany either. So getting our goal difference back up a little bit can certainly not be a bad thing in a game like this. Orlando. Bernie's into the box again. Pulls it back for Schurter. All the way back for Orlando. Oh, the patience now. All the way back for Batmaz. This is a dream come true. Gerke's in. Oh, and it's 5. It's 5. Gerke's 9th goal of the season, and it is Heidenheim 5, Hoffenheim 0. Wow. They went and beat Gladbach with Victor Fischer in charge in the last game. I think he is the caretaker, but it feels like there's nothing quite like a real manager like Kim Min. Was this Batmaz's ball over the top? It is. He's just clipped it through. The defender isn't fast enough, and Gerke's just drilled it near post, and even he's finding form now. 5-0 to Heidenheim. Come on. And Greuther Fürth have taken the lead away at Karlsruhe. This just gets better and better in a way. Wipperfürth's ball through, and it's cleared away, but Schurter will pick this up. I can't believe this is happening. In my wildest dreams, I did not expect us to come out here and win 5-0 in a relegation 6-pointer. I couldn't have even imagined it, and there it is. Heidenheim 5, Hoffenheim 0. Those are the kind of results that you need to keep. There's no way we deserve to win this game by 5-0. I do think that, as you could see, the goalkeeper for Hoffenheim had a terrible day. We were brilliant. 2 goals for Gerke. Michtal's brilliant goal as well. Bernie's thunder bastard. And Dreyer with one as well. Both fullbacks scored. I just don't know what to say. That is incredible. Here we go. Moment of truth. We are 14th in the Bundesliga now. 6 points clear of the automatic relegation places. Now, I suppose the one downside to Greuther Fürth beating Karlsruhe is that it does still provide less of a gap now between us and automatic relegation, but we have still gained ground there, weirdly, just because of the results elsewhere. Right then, we're back. We had a couple of games off camera, of course. First up, it was away against Schalke. 32 minutes on the clock. Mayer getting the ball out on this left-hand side, pops it to Bernie, and this is just a gorgeous ball in. And look at the way Michtal slots at home for 1-0 Heidenheim. And incredibly, we held on. I was unsure about what to do after we took the lead, so I did kind of try to shut things down a little bit. We did, as you can see from Schalke sort of coming back into it in the second half, but a lot of their shots were, again, poor quality shots from range for the most part, and Cooney was just able to pluck them out of the air and have yet another ridiculous game with another 8 saves. He, genuinely, is at times single-handedly keeping us in this league. It's mad. Also, you should be seeing on your screen now the relegation run-in graphic that you get. I want to show you here because it was at this point that we actually got that. Look at Karlsruhe's run-in. Bugger me. They don't play a single side who are lower than 8th in the league for the full rest of the season from this point after the Schalke game that we had. So, yeah, that was the sort of a bigger that was the big games that I was expecting them to get at some point. They are now firmly getting them, and that is extremely pleasing. Along with us doing a great job here. I think we were the better side on the night, but it was still very, very close. Also, that defeat that we inflicted on Hoffenheim earlier in today's video, that was Victor Fischer's first game in charge of the club. The caretaker manager was the guy that actually got them the win against Borussia Mönchengladbach, and I bet they might be regretting not appointing him, to be honest, because they did not look good against us, did Hoffenheim. I think we were fortunate to win 5-0, but Jesus. And then next up, it was at home against Augsburg. 40 minutes on the clock. Michtal slips it through for Schurter. Look at this for a pick out. Drops it across. Sörenmeier in there for 1-0 on 40 minutes. And then directly from the kickoff, essentially, we win the ball back off them here. Less than 40 seconds later, Schurter's with the ball through this time. Gerke dinks it over the goalkeeper for 2-0 to Heidenheim before half-time. And in the second half, we kind of just kept creating chances, but weren't able to really create, a chance to score with. But then in the 92nd minute, just a really nice bit of play from Fernandes. Gorgeous ball through, and it was 2-1. Not the best day out there for Cunha in this one, but thankfully the sheer attacking output of the lads really did the business for us. Possibly could have had even more goals. A very, very deserved win, and you can see now that they've clicked, the team are getting used to the tactics, things are just working now, and I'm over the moon for them. I really am. Because that now leaves us 12th in the Bundesliga. 35 points on the board. We are 10 clear of Karlsruhe, 14 clear of Hoffenheim. Hoffenheim literally cannot catch us. It is not possible. And with us being 12 points above Greuther Fürth, there's almost zero chance of us being in that. In fact, I think we could potentially secure safety today, which is kind of mad, as we actually play against Wolfsburg, who are now below us, Augsburg, Werder Bremen, they're all below us, and Karlsruhe, I just really don't see, I think, honestly, Karlsruhe are going to get automatically relegated. I think one of either Greuther Fürth or Hoffenheim is going to steal that off them, because I can't see Karlsruhe winning another game for the rest of the season, given the run-in that they've actually got, which is really, really good. Now, one slight downside is Kaiser is going to miss possibly the rest of the season, honestly, with an abdominal strain. It said 3 to 6 weeks, which could be anything really, or it could be 3 to 6 weeks. So we're going to have to see how that one goes. And he, despite not putting out the best performances, I think he's a key member of that midfield cog that we really do not want to be without. But it also makes me think, now, one thing I would say is I feel like Heidenheim's squad was underperforming. I think they were a better team than where they were in the league, and we've just been able to get the best out of them. But even so, I still think we've done the right things a lot of the time in managing certain games and making sure we got the points on the board rather than risking it. And those results against some of the big sides are still going to matter, I feel like, in the end of when it comes down to it. And it also makes me feel like with our next job, obviously this was the only real job we had an option for at that point, but if there was a team that was in genuine, real, huge relegation threat, I still think we could maybe give them a chance at staying up with the way that we play. Now, again, maybe they'd have worse players. I don't know. We're not going to be able to keep every team up every single season when we do this. There's no chance of that happening. But what a great start to things, eh? So, today we go away to Wolfsburg. You can see Karlsruhe actually hosts 9th place now, Stuttgart. This is the easiest game they have left, basically. Hoffenheim and Werder Bremen play each other as well. And Greuther Fürth, they play Borussia Mönchengladbach. So, even a point today would be enough, potentially. So, they want to make more changes. Wait, where did Meyer get hurt? Okay, that must be new. That's annoying, actually. Okay, we may have to make some switches. So, Schreckinger as the Mez, I'm okay with that. Meyer, could he start? I mean, it doesn't seem to... Problem then becomes who actually replaces him there. You can see that it really does drop off extremely fast after Meyer. I feel like it's worth the risk for today. Potentially, as we could... If we just got one game out of him, here, it might be enough to keep us up, and then it wouldn't actually matter as much, even if he did miss a little bit more towards the end. It's weird how much I've come back around to Ernst Gerke, because at one point I thought Wipperfurth was going to be the man for us, but when he started games, he really did not perform, and now you can see the performances lately. He's probably the best performing. Oh no, he's not actually, but he's certainly up there. Everybody's just starting to turn it on lately. I think with the right results, there's a very, very strong chance that we could be officially safe after this. But you know, this is another big battle down at the bottom, and Wolfsburg are very much not safe yet, so they'll be up for it for sure. It's a big stadium, big crowd, and a big amount of expectations in there. I mean, these are former Bundesliga champions, after all. Let's not forget this. Obviously, it's been a while since that's happened, and already, Adelton's throw, and Wolfsburg nearly take the lead inside 15 seconds, but yet again, the Karate Kid comes up with an absolute banger of a save. A lot of goals just flew in, but I didn't get a chance to see who'd actually scored them. But at the moment, 0-0 here is good enough for us as Michtal's header is flicked in. It's Wolfsburg 0 and Heidenheim 1, and Kasper Michtal has done it again. 13 goals this season. The guy has been ridiculous. That was from a corner as well. The reason that happened is because Januszka was taking it, so it obviously moved around the set pieces a little bit. And somehow, the right midfielder has flicked it over two people, and, wow, Mauersberger has to be saving that. And it's 1-0 to Heidenheim again. Can he flick one in? And he might. It's cleared away, but that's going to be brought down. Oh, go on, Shrek, and just pop. Oh, wow, the patience. Huh, they really have adapted really nicely to this style of play now. Meyer, oh, Gerke, oh my goodness me. It's Wolfsburg 0, Heidenheim 2, and Ernst Gerke. Now that they've really started playing the Kim Min way, over the last sort of 7 or 8 games, it feels like the patience in the passing was something we weren't doing as much before. We were wasting possession at times. Dreyer with a gorgeous ball, Meyer's flick on, and there was Gerke, and it's now 2-0, and we just look insane at the moment. As things stand, we'd move up to 11th in the league, incredibly. In my wildest dreams, I did not expect us to be able... I honestly thought that we'd just lose too many games, and it would take a little while to really adapt to the tactics, and I didn't think we'd be able to do it so quickly. But we really, really have adapted. The passing and everything's just perfect at the moment, and that's a poor touch. But, I mean, 2-0 up now away at Wolfsburg. We just look like we have so many goals in this team all of a sudden. It's important to note that as well as we've started this game, we have only had 2 shots. And now we've given away a penalty. This is what we've been good in terms of when we've actually created something today. We've been excellent with it, but it's things like this that are always going to cost us. And that's obviously going to be given easily. Yep, that's going to be a penalty. I mean, now we're going to have to rely on Cunha to try and save a penalty as well. I don't see that happening, and I think Wolfsburg would be good value for getting back into this game if they score this. Imagine if Cunha saved this as well. Adelton steps up. And, it wasn't the most powerful of penalties, but Wolfsburg are back in. 14th goal of the season for Adelton, and I think they kind of deserve that, actually. We've not been that great outside of those 2 brilliant passages of play, but maybe we can use this to kick on a little bit. Whipped in, and Meyer! Søren Meyer, and it's 3-1. These are the types of goals that we used to concede a lot with Sassuolo. These balls to the back post with the guy flying in there. I found that was often how we conceded with Sassuolo, but it feels like today... Look at this for a ball from Schurter. Left-footed, whips it into that danger area, and Søren Meyer makes it 3-1 now to Heidenheim. Incredible. Clips it out to Bernie. Round the side for Meyer. Oh, he's in again. Meyer's in again, and he's just popped that one just wide of the post. Oh, my God. What? Oh, my God. Oh, he's going to get there as well. Gerke's in from... Can he make it 4? Oh, what a stop. Half-time. Wolfsburg haven't done a lot in this game. They've had the penalty, obviously, and they had that chance in the first seconds of the match, but we've just been ruthless when we've got in front of goal, except for that chance right at the end of the half. But as things stand... we will be officially safe. With the result that we're currently achieving, we will be safe in the Bundesliga, and Kim Min will be able to sleep easy at night. And Michtal's now been fouled. Oh, God. Wolfsburg are just making it worse and worse for themselves here. It's likely to be a penalty. I don't know who's going to take it this time, because Kaiser's not on the pitch. I think it will be Gerke. I think. I did set up a hierarchy of penalty takers. It's going to be Sandro Schurter. That makes a decent amount of sense. We've actually missed, I think, both penalties that we've been given so far this season. 3rd different taker with a chance to score one. Sandro Schurter steps up and smashes it home with aplomb. Wolfsburg 0. Wolfsburg 1, Heidenheim 4. I don't know. We've just been fantastic today. In front of goal. We're creating goals for days at the moment. It reminds me a bit of Sassuolo in places. I just didn't think we'd be able to impose that on a team this far down the league. There's not a great deal of action going on in a lot of the other games. No one's really scored anything in those for a little while, but the main thing is, as things stand, we would be safe. I think, honestly, it would take us conceding 4 goals in the next 25 minutes to not be safe. Adelton, and he's missed the target. I've got Søren Meyer off because, obviously, he was nursing a slight knock at the start of the game, and now that we're sort of, hopefully anyway, in cruise control, I don't want to risk him at this point, so we're going to get Dizdarovic on, even though he's not brilliant for the role. Adelton! The tackles! The defensive... Everyone's just up for it. They seem to have really bought into the Kim Min way. Oh, God. Okay, that's not ideal. And Adelton again. And, well, that is... And he's missed it! Oh, he's offside as well. Wow. This is why Wolfsburg are down there at the moment, it feels like. Stuttgart have also now scored against Karlsruhe, completely condemning, well, not condemning them, but that was their one sort of winnable game left. And I think, I mean, we've just been able to pull away emphatically lately. And it's not even been close in, like, the games like this against and against Hoffenheim, where we've really come out and put up big results. More than just little scrappy victories, and played well for the most part. Some of them have been a bit fortunate, I feel like, but still, this is going to be another fantastic victory, and we are about to be safe in the Bundesliga, and we've done it. Wolfsburg 1, Heidenheim 4, and we are safe in the Bundesliga for another season for the lads. Mistal, Gerka, those early goals really sunk them, but then I think we got a lot better after that, with Meyer's goal as well, and then the penalty just really put the icing on the cake. Mausberger had a terrible day. Cunha wasn't spectacular, but he still made saves when he needed to. Can't expect him to save the penalty, really. What a result. So that's now how the league stands. 38 points on the board for Heidenheim. We now move above Schalke as well. We go 13 points clear and therefore safe. Hoffenheim did win in the end against Werder Bremen, so that sort of keeps that battle alive. There is technically the chance of qualifying for Europe. It's not going to happen, but it is still technically mathematically possible should we go on a ridiculous run and everyone else above us drop points. It's not going to happen, but our next game is at home against Greuther Fürth. So no, it's not going to happen, but I think we could definitely get above 40 points, which would be ridiculous from when we started with 11 points. I'm incredibly impressed with the guys. The run we've been on since the Gladbach defeat, I think that's 9 games unbeaten, and with I think there's 7 wins in those games. This is like Leicester City-esque during that season when they said, oh, obviously we were like, well, we weren't as far behind as they were. But once we got going around about here, it just seemed to, something just clicked, and the lads just seemed to buy into the project, and we've got goals in this team. So, final episode of the season. I was going to do a triple live com if we were still massively in relegation battle, but I think what I'm going to do is do Greuther off camera, come back for Hamburg and Hertha to finish things off. But stay tuned, of course, because in that episode we will be going over the other leagues as well, looking at potential targets of teams coming up from the second divisions of their nations, as well as going to visit some of the former clubs from Outcast to Icons, because why the hell not, eh? So, if you've enjoyed this episode, then drop a like. I can't believe we've done as well as this. This is fantastic. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. That'd be gorgeous too. I stream on Twitch on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, so go follow there as well. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the final matches in charge of Heidenheim. I've had a great time here, but I still can't wait to see where we rock up to next. So thank you so much for watching. Hold your gun. Capybara. Bye-bye.
I can be a fighter.